Wrapping around, coming to the left. Building on the left. I'm getting too old for this shit.
I think you all know that I've always felt the 9 most terrifying words in the English language are, I'm from the government and I'm here to help.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Last weekend I participated in an airsoft game that went almost 5 hours, and I took some notes about the lessons that were reaffirmed in these games, and I wanted to share them with you guys. Make sure you go down and hit that like button. While you're down there, if that subscriber button is red, go ahead and click it and turn it to gray. It really supports the channel. If you're interested in any kind of training, medical, quality leather work, or other gear, while you're down there, hit that description box. Check out the links to Exfil Enterprises, Prepared Citizens Training Group, Modern Frontiersman, Jace Medical, LA Police Gear, and the Ghillie Dude. There are discounts to all these places. Save yourself some money and support those who support this channel. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. Last weekend, it was 72 degrees. Felt amazing until you put on the jacket and the airsoft vest and the mask and everything. There was also no wind going on, and it was hot. Oh my God. After almost 5 hours, everything was soaked. And we weren't carrying any sustainment gear. Some of the guys there did have like rigged out stuff, you know, extra mags, wearing kit. Probably the coolest thing I saw was the fan that attaches like the battery pack in the back that goes in to keep your goggles from fogging. It was hot. Which leads into the next point, hydration. In almost 5 hours, I drank 9 of these. That is over a gallon of water in 5 hours. It was hot. So what can we take away from this? You have to make sure that you are carrying water with you. I know it's, you wear what you fight in, you set down your sustainment, but you should always have water on you in your fighting load. Whether it be 1 quart or 2, or you have a 3-liter hydration bladder strapped to your back at all times, you need to have water. Cover and concealment. Cover and concealment are super important, and there are differences between cover and concealment. Cover is going to protect you from rounds that are bouncing off, while concealment just hides you. But either way, make sure you're aware of the cover and concealment areas in your fighting location and take advantage of those. Another point to the cover and concealment that doesn't get its own little whatever was camouflage. The easiest guys to spot and pick off that were running around on the field were in all black. However, there was also a kid there that was wearing a pink shirt, and the sniper that was out there on the field and a couple of the other guys all came up to him after a match and said, hey, even when my goggles would fog up, I would just look for the pink shirt and try to shoot in that direction. The sniper straight up told him, listen, I knew I couldn't hit you behind the cover that you were in, but every time I could see the little pink move, I would send around and hit the metal right above you to let you know I was watching you. Looking cool is half the battle, but this shit is absolutely necessary, and God's plaid reigns supreme out in the woods. Communication. Nobody had radios out there. Probably would have been a good idea, because then we wouldn't have to be yelling and giving away that we know where they're at. However, communication was key. In the first match that we went into, everybody just kind of went crazy. There were a couple people trying to communicate with everybody else, but nobody was really paying attention to that. By the end of this thing, everybody had quickly realized just how vital the communication was. You had one guy pulling like an overwatch. For our group, it was me, and I would be watching and yelling out, "They're to our left, they're to our right, there's two of them in that building right over there." Communication was vital to us. We won the majority of the matches, and it was because we're communicating with each other. Tactics were important. Now, a lot of these guys out there were kids, and they weren't as well versed in the tactics as the rest of us were. A lot of the guys that were out there, this was fun for them, and it was a break from Milsim tournaments that they were doing. So they had the tactics down. So like I said, at the very beginning, everybody just kind of went all willy-nilly and did whatever they wanted to. But as we started getting our group together, we're like, listen, here's what we're going to do. You three guys are going to go off this way, and you guys are going to go off this way. I'm going to watch, this guy's going to watch, this person's going to run up the middle. We're going to do this. And then as we would see them move, we would shift our groups around, which really helped out. A couple different times the guys were out there throwing smoke to throw up a shield of sorts for them to come running around, which honestly was pretty cool to see. You and your group are looking for a non-lethal way to practice your tactics and really hone in some of these skills, the tactics, the communications, stuff like that. It's actually not a bad thing to do. SPRs or snipers. Like I said, there was a guy out there who was rocking a sniper rifle, bolt action. He had a guy with him that was his backup in case they got flanked. Then he would have someone who was shooting, in semi-auto or the full auto burst. This was all airsoft, and depending on the match was depending on if you could use full auto or not. But they worked as a team. Going back to tactics, and this guy was on the opposite team. He was against us. Our team did not have a sniper or an SPR. I kind of assumed the Overwatch communication role, trying to get these guys. But having that dedicated weapons platform out there was pretty good. If you have someone in your team that can fulfill this role, especially when you're going out with more than just 3 or 4 guys, because there were like 13 guys on each side, it came in pretty clutch, not gonna lie. So it's definitely something to keep in mind. Is it something that you're going to be able to do every time? No. Is it something that you have to have? Not necessarily, but it is nice to have the option. And the last point that I have to make to this is don't be fat. You hear a lot of guys say it, and it's all true. If you're fat, you're going to die. And this airsoft match definitely reaffirmed that I have not lost near enough weight yet, and it is something that I'm going to continue to work on. I wasn't the only old guy out there. I was one of 3. The sniper was like 5 years older than me, and he was like, listen dude, I'm too fat to be running around like these kids, so I decided to take on the sniper role because I can just lay there. I was like, bro, that's why I've been pulling the Overwatch position for my team, because I'm too fat to be running around. And I was still out there hauling ass, jumping over limbs and vines and shit, trying to get from one piece of cover to the next piece of cover. But that was nowhere near as fast and as energetic as these fucking kids that are out there just running around. Is airsoft the best form of training, and are all the skills in airsoft transferable to a real life situation? Absolutely not. Unless you build out a custom airsoft rifle that's going to be the same weight as your rifle, to simulate the weight of your rifle, and it's not quite the same. Shooting on semi, I mean, yeah, that's kind of similar to shooting on semi with your regular AR. shooting on the full auto might be similar to like an FRT or the Super Safety or something, but it's not the same. They had flip-up iron sights on these rifles, but you couldn't really, you had to cant the rifle to be able to use them with the mask on. And even then, where you shot, because it's a BB and it's lightweight, did not go where you put your sights. We ended up, you can see the BBs flying through the air, so we would just shoot and adjust our elevation and stuff from where the BBs were landing. The sights really weren't that good for shooting in airsoft as it's going to be in real life situations. So not everything is transferable, but you kind of know that when you're going into it. The things that I think that airsoft is great for reaffirming and allowing you guys to be able to get more training in is going to be the cover and concealment, the communications, and your tactics. And also remember hydration. You must have water with you. Huge shout out to the guys at the Airsoft field that we went to that let us come out there. It's open to anybody, but most of these guys were people that were there every time it's open for an event because they were practicing for their milsim or whatever. They have a Discord page that they added us in. And they're not all just about airsoft. A lot of those guys also have real steel items as well, and they discuss this stuff in the Discord, so that's been really nice. You know, you hear people talk about building your community, your team, your mag, your tribe, whatever. This is just another way for you to be able to get out there and find guys that are like-minded and who are willing to put in the work like you. It's a great way to go out and practice some of the skills, not all of them. You still need to get out to the flat range. You still need to walk through the woods. You still need to work with your group. You still need to be hammering on those fundamentals, but it is a fun way to go out and practice. Once again, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you check the description for a link to all the affiliates, Exfil Enterprises, Prepared Citizens Training Group, Modern Frontiersman, LA Police Gear, Jace Medical, and the Ghillie Dude. Let me know down in the comments below if you've ever went out and done airsoft, what you took away from your experience in the airsoft, and what you think about the video. That's all I got for you guys. Until next time, stay ready so you ain't gotta get ready.
Stay ready. So you ain't gonna get